Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulihil kareem amma ba'du fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. This is Wasim Akram, your teacher of Islamiyat, and I'd like to welcome all of you another time in another online class. And inshallah, in today's class, we'll be covering three topics. We'll be discussing three battles which happened. Two out of them happened in 8th year of Hijrat, and the third one happened in the 9th year of Hijrat. Why I have selected these three battles together? The reason is this, that it's been more than a couple of weeks we have been learning about battles, and now I believe that all of you are reasonably acquainted with that what usually happens in a battle, that you will find a cause, a reason for the battle. You will have to look at the number of soldiers on both sides of the armies, and then you will be learning about that what was the result and how the results were secured by an army, and later on how much spoils were obtained by an army or how much booty was obtained by an army. The winning army, what did they get, and the losing army, what did they lose? How many soldiers were killed or martyred from both armies. Firstly, the topic that we are going to cover, that is the Battle of Mauta. The Battle of Mauta happened in 8th year of Hijrat, and what was the cause of the battle? The cause was the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, sent a messenger to the Roman emperor to invite the emperor to Islam, and when that messenger was returning from there, on the way he was killed, and at that time killing a person of another state was considered as a declaration of war. Therefore, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, sent an army of 3,000 soldiers, and they met the enemy at the place of Mauta. That is why we call this battle the Battle of Mauta. And eventually Muslims won the battle, but how and when, there is a short detail that I'll be discussing with you, that the army was sent under the leadership of Hazrat Zaid bin Haris, and after his martyrdom, two more leaders were appointed by the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and after that the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, had permitted his companions that if three of my appointed commanders of the army are martyred, then you, the companions, would be allowed to select your own commander. So when the first three leaders were martyred, the Muslim army selected Hazrat Khalid bin Walid as their commander, and he led the Muslims and he won the war as well. That is what we are going to discuss about the Battle of Mauta. And our next topic of the day is the Battle of Hunain. The Battle of Hunain was fought right after the conquest of Mecca. When the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, was planning to move back to Medina after conquering Mecca, he got these reports that two warring tribes of Taif, their names were Hawazin and Saqif, they were gathering their men and their army to wage a war against Islam and against the Muslims. So the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, being the greatest, the best commander so far in the world, he commanded his army men to move towards the city of Taif, because the situation demanded Muslims move proactively, and that is what Muslims did. The Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, gathered an army of 12,000. How many? 12,000 soldiers, and out of those 12,000, 10,000 were the soldiers which moved along with the Holy Prophet from Medina, and 2,000 were the newly converts of Islam of Mecca, and now this army of 12,000 soldiers moved towards Taif. And when they reached in the valley of Hunain, the enemy attacked Muslims, and it was a very surprise attack that the Muslims even started fleeing and moving away. They were unable to defend themselves and they were disorganized, but the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, stood there and he managed his people, and eventually Muslims moved back into the battle and they defeated the enemies. And when they were defeated on the way, they ran away from there, and they were, they left their women, they left their children, they left all their properties over there. And as booty, as the reward for the battle, Muslims got 6,000 prisoners of war, 24,000 camels, and 40,000 goats. That was the booty that the Muslims got in the battle of Hunain. But the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, did not stop there. The Muslims did not stop there. They followed the enemy and they tried to capture them on that same time, and they laid a siege of the place of the city of Taif, and that siege lasted for approximately 20 to 40 days. And eventually in the next year, in the 9th year of Hijrat, whole of the city of Taif, they embraced Islam. Now, I have discussed with you people a reasonable amount of details about the Battle of Hunain. Now we are going to look at the Tabuk expedition. You can all recall that what the word expedition means. It's a journey with a specific object. In the 9th year of Hijrat, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, received this information that the Roman Emperor was coming to attack the Islamic State, and he was quite near the border of the Islamic State. So the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, gathered an army of 30,000 people and he started moving out of Medina. And when he reached at Tabuk, he found the enemy there. But when the enemy looked at the highest number of the Muslim army, which was 30,000 people, the army of the enemy, they got demoralized and they fled away without fighting the Muslim army. The Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, set his camp there, and a lot of tribes from the neighboring areas, they came to the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and they accepted Islam. There are a lot of things that will be important for you people to learn about the Battle of Tabuk, that we also call Tabuk expedition. So I would like to read them from the book correctly so that there is no misquotation. The Khyber expedition is also called expedition of straightness. Why? Because at that time it was not easy to fight or to be a part of the Muslim army, because in Hijaz there was famine going on, and in Medina there was extreme scarcity of water. So when you do not have even to eat something, how can you think of fighting an army who is well prepared and who is coming after planning waging a war, and you on the other side are not aware of these things? Next thing that you need to focus, that is the dedication and the contributions that were made by the companions of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. The Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, ordered for donations and subscriptions for protection of State of Islam, and in response Hazrat Usman gave 1,000 gold dinars and 3,000 camels laden with grains, and Hazrat Umar contributed half of all his cash, household goods and cattle, and on the other side Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu donated everything that he had. Now that's a lesson for all of us, that for protection of Islam, the companions of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, they were ready to dedicate and sacrifice whatever they had with them. And examples are there in front of you. You're reading your book, page number 78 can let you know about this. Let's look at if there was something else that you need to focus. The hypocrites, they made excuses as usual, and they did not contribute anything for protection of Islamic State or to support the Muslim army. And how long the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, stayed at Tabuk? It was 20 days. And why was he staying there? Because tribes of the neighboring areas, they were coming to the Prophet and they were accepting Islam. That is why the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, stayed there for 20 days. And when the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, came back to his city, 3 of his companions, believers, they accepted that they were wrong and they should have been with the Muslim army, but they committed a mistake, and the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, pardoned them. Another thing that is really important, that the Tabuk expedition was the last battle in which the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, took part personally, that he was along with the army men, he was along with his soldiers, he was commanding them while being with them in the battlefield. After the Tabuk expedition, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, did not lead physically and personally the Muslim army, being with them. And this leads me to end this lesson here, because I told you whatever we have today, we had to study. That is all that we have been learning for a couple of weeks. We know that how battles happen, and I wanted to keep my lesson as precise as possible. You will find a question along with this video lesson, and you have to answer that, and I want you all to attempt that answer as well, because whatever school is doing, that is for your welfare. So see you in the next lecture that is going to be uploaded on Friday. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.